Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my palette collection, and it's a lot. So this video is probably going to be a million hours long, so please grab a full meal and hopefully you enjoy this video. I do want to say a couple things. I do have quite a few palettes, but then again, please remember I make YouTube videos, so in order to provide content and get them views, I gotta buy stuff. You know, a lot of the times I only use the palette on that video and then I don't touch it again because so much comes out so fast that I'm like trying to keep up, but it's hard, and then I forget that I have these palettes. So there's that. Also, there's palettes in here that I haven't even touched, so there's that also. I really need to get better about using what I have, but honestly, like I said, it is so hard to just keep chugging along. Anyways, if you like these types of videos, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, share the video because it really helps out my channel. And without further, let's get into my palette collection, because in the future I may have to do a declutter, okay? Okay, so I'm not going to go in any specific order. I'm just going to go ahead and just like grab, because there's palettes here on the front and then there's palettes on the ground because there's only so much space in my little cubicle. So starting off, I have the ColourPop times, no, this isn't a collaboration. What am I thinking? This is the ColourPop Cute AF Yes Please palette. I'm pretty sure that the name of this is Yes Please and not Cute AF. I don't know. But this is the inside right here. And as you can tell, it is greatly loved. To be honest, I think that my sister uses this palette more than I have. And I think that that is why it looks greatly loved, because my sister does borrow some of my palettes, whatever she's in the mood for. So it is a little on the dirty side, but this palette I do really like. I did review this palette here on my channel. So if you guys want to know the deets, just search it on my channel and you'll find it, because I say I link it and I forget to link stuff, so you know. This is one of 4 that I ordered. This is from the Bad Habit collection, I believe. Yes, Bad Habit, and this is in After Hours. And this is what it looks like inside. It comes with a mirror, and these are supposed to be the Huda dupes. Now this palette I have only used once also. Again, the one that uses it the most is my sister. As you can tell, she has hit pan in several of the shades, so I'm glad that somebody's at least using it. This next one right here is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, and this is what the inside looks like. I did post a picture of this on my Instagram with a cute little coffee with, I believe it's a bear. And this is a really, really pretty palette. I honestly wanted it because of, like, obviously the purple, the gold, and then the green over here. So this is another really good palette that I like as well. This right here is the Juvia's Place, the Masquerade Mini by I'm repeating myself. This is a Juvia's Place, the Masquerade Mini, and this is what it looks like right here. It is a very, very stunning palette for sure. These shades are beautiful. Honestly, my sister is the one that pushes me to buy these palettes because I'm not really into color. I don't usually gravitate towards it unless there's purples. Then I honestly buy the palette just because of the purples. But this is a really, really beautiful palette, and Juvia's does have a really good formula. I also have the Nubian 2 palette, which is this right here, and then that is the inside. This palette I probably have used the most here on my channel. I've probably used it more than 3 times because it is a really, really good palette. I think this is the first Juvia's palette I ever purchased, and it is greatly loved now. I picked up this palette right here. This is the Maybelline Lemonade Craze. I have used this. I've used it for like an Instagram picture, and honestly it's not my favorite. I don't find that it's like super pigmented and very vibrant. I really liked, you know, that it's kind of compact and it's travel friendly and it's very affordable, but the formula in this just wasn't there. And then I did pick up this one right here. This is the Maybelline Soda Pop, and this is the purple, and obviously I was gonna buy it anyways because it's purple, and anything purple, it's sold in my eyes. I picked this up because of Crispy. She did a video with this palette and I really liked it, and I had a video in mind with my dad, but it didn't end up happening, so we'll just leave it in the future. This is a palette I haven't even touched at all. I need to play with it, but I just haven't had the time. These three are the other mates of the other palette that I showed you from Bad Habit. So these are Huda Beauty dupes. This right here is called Aftershock, and this is the more colorful palette right here. This palette I haven't used whatsoever. As you can tell, it is extremely clean, no fingerprints whatsoever. I really need to play with this. I wanted to film a video with it, but I just never got around to it. And then this is After Dark, and this is it right here. This is like the more warm tone palette. Really beautiful, and this is a palette that honestly I would probably use on the daily, but I don't. And I do have a video here on my channel using this palette. This one right here is After Party. This is like the cool tone version. Oh, and I see that the black is broken. I didn't even, is it broken? Or is it, I don't know if it's broken or scratched like this one right here. But, you know, back in the day, the old Jasmine, pre-wearing makeup, only eyeshadow, this was like my go-to. This was my jam. Cool tones were my calling. Not anymore. I honestly only used this palette one time for a video, I believe, and then never again. So I'm not sure if I would even wear this palette because I just like don't gravitate towards it. This is the Alamar Cosmetic palette. I got this in my my BoxyCharm, and this is what it looks like right here. It is a really stunning palette. I really like the blue and the teal. I have used this here on my channel. Have I used it after my video? No, I have not. No, I have not. We're just gonna keep it 100 here. This right here is the ColourPop times Makeup by Shayla. This is Perception, and honestly I bought it because of the packaging. Hello, if it's purple, you know I'm gonna buy it. And this is it right here. It does come with a mirror, and this is the inside. I really liked that she incorporated these purples right here. Well, this purple right here, and then these blues. The palette is really beautiful. I probably have used this palette maybe 2 times, 3. I don't really remember, but I have used the Shayla palette more than most palettes that I own. These next 2 I bought, and I have yet to use them. Honestly, I don't know if I should just like give them away or what, because I feel like they're too old to put on my channel. And I don't mean old as in the formula, because these are pretty new, but I feel like if I use these on my channel, people won't watch the video because they're not new. When makeup comes out, you have to be quick and you gotta pump those videos right away, because if you sit on it, you can't use a product anymore because people will not probably watch your video. So these came out. I remember What Would Lizzie Do? She filmed a video on all 4, because there are 4, and out of the 4 I really liked this one, so I bought it. And again, I haven't even swatched it, touched it, nothing. And this one is called Smoke. And so I don't know if I should keep it or if I should just give it away. I don't know. I need to sit down and like really reflect. And then this one is called Gilded, and this one is really, really pretty. I'm actually surprised that I bought the Smoke because it is a little more cooler tone, but I bought it anyway. So this is Gilded. This is Gilded right here, and it's so freaking beautiful. I mean, it is more of a softer color. It's definitely more on the pastel-y, I would say, but it is stunning. Honestly, it was like this shade right here that like made me want to buy this palette. It's like so stunning, but again, they're just sitting in my drawer. I need to decide what I'm going to do, because there's no point in having all this makeup if you're not going to use it, and my drawers are filling up so fast and I just don't have the space. The next two palettes are these right here. They're the Makeup Revolution times Emily Noel. This one right here is called The Needs, and this palette is stunning. This is probably a more friendly everyday, if you go to school, if you work, if you're just like a busy mom and you're always on the go, because it has a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, it has a setting powder, and then it has these shades for your eyes if you wanted to use eyeshadow for your day. And then it comes with a good size mirror. So I really, really like this palette, and it's also very affordable, and plus you would be supporting a fellow YouTuber. So I do like this palette, and again, I've only used that palette a couple times. This one right here is the Wands. Now this palette has had a lot of controversy. It has a really good size mirror. It's like the entire lid, and then this is the shades right here. I personally really, really like this palette a lot. I did struggle with Apartment, which is this shade right here. I did struggle with this one, and I think that's it. I mean, for the most part, I really, really did enjoy this palette. This palette was sent to me from Pop Beauty, and I haven't used it at all, and I should, because Tati Westbrook featured this palette on her channel, and she said that the glitters in this palette were amazing. And I just have not had the time to play with this. I wanted to use it for like a Christmas, New Year look, but I ran out of time and I just didn't do it. But it is so beautiful, and again, I haven't even swatched it, touched it, nothing. It is very, very beautiful, and I need to use it. I don't know when, but I need to. Profusion was kind enough to send me some goodies. They sent me a contour palette, a highlighting palette, and then 3 eyeshadow palettes. I have another one, but I don't know where it is. Maybe it'll pop up later, maybe it won't. This is Amber Eyes, and this is what the inside looks like. I haven't touched this either. It is still crisp and clean. One of the shades has like a little nick. I don't know if it's like when I lifted the plastic it got a nick or something. I'm not really sure. But it does come with a dual-ended brush. So this is it right here. Oh, the brush just fell. So this is it right here. It is very warm tone for sure. You get your reds, your browns, and then this is the brush, so you get like a blending brush and then a flat brush to apply the shimmers. I have not used this palette either. I am very, very embarrassed, but I have used the contour and I have used the highlight, and I really, really like them. And then this right here is Smoke Eyes, and this one right here reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Smoked palette. It is really, really beautiful, and again, I haven't even touched it whatsoever. My friend Mariela was kind enough to give me this for my birthday. This is the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsession, and this is what the inside looks like. It does come with a mirror, and then it is all purples. I am planning on using this palette probably next week for a look, because I also haven't used this palette. I am very embarrassed. This palette right here is from Pure, and it also came in my BoxyCharm. This is the palette right here, and then this is the inside also. There's the eyeshadows, and then it comes with a highlighter, this one looks like a bronzer, and then 2 blushes. And people have actually said that this palette is really good. It's really nice. Next is the Dream Palette by Beauty Bird times Sigma. Of course, I had to support her. I freaking love this palette. I've only used it one time, and it was like my most recent video. I will link it for you, or if you guys just want to find it, it's like a couple videos away. Well, not a couple, it's a few videos down, but I ended up using the purples, and I really want to dive in this section right here. This is like the perfect everyday palette. The highlighters in here are amazing. The next palette, oh my gosh guys, is the James Charles times Morphe. This is my palette right here. I did give one of these away in my giveaway, and honestly, I'm not the type of person that would use color. It's just really not my thing. I haven't played with it whatsoever. I haven't touched it or anything. I know that this is like a hot item and everybody wants it. Everyone, it like keeps selling out. It's already gone through, I think, like 3 restocks or something, and they just can't keep it in store. I don't know if I should keep it or if I should, I don't know. The next palette is this Tarte palette. This was actually from the Christmas collection last year, or holiday collection I should say, and my really good friend Kristen, she sent this to me. Thank you so much. And this is what it looks like in the inside. So you get a bronzer, a highlight, 2 blushes, you get 2 lip products, you get a mascara and an eyeliner, and then you get all of these shades right here. This is such a freaking beautiful palette as well. I have used it. I'm not sure if I've used like the bronzer and the blushes and the highlight, but I have used the eyeshadows, and Tarte has a really nice formula. This next palette is from Ace Beauté. I think that's how you say it, and it's called Grandiose palette. And this also came in my BoxyCharm. I really like BoxyCharm for that reason, because you get to try all these new palettes. I believe this month we're getting a Tarte palette, so I'm super excited about that. And this is it right here. I did use this palette once for... Wait, did I? Have I used this palette? Oh my gosh, I haven't. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. Look, can you see? Like, it has not been touched. This one right here, the pink one, looks like it's been swatched, but I'm pretty sure I have not used this palette whatsoever. Anyways, next is the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Session, and this palette, I recently filmed a video, and I freaking love this palette. I shouldn't say love, because love is such a strong word, but I really do enjoy the palette. This palette, you do definitely need another palette, because you need transitions, and maybe if you want to spruce it up and use other colors, then definitely pick up another palette along with this one. But it is freaking beautiful. These shades are stunning. This shade was not my favorite, but it is a really nice palette. I do recommend it. The next palette is this one right here, and this is Urban Decay Born to Run. I honestly picked it up simply because of the packaging. I know a lot of people didn't care for the packaging, but I did. I like these types of things. Whenever I buy a calendar, I always buy a calendar with, you know, kind of like vacation spots, just because I like seeing that. It does come with a good size mirror, and then this is what the palette looks like. This palette I have used a handful of times. I'm not sure if I've used it here on my channel a handful of times, but I know I did use this palette in my channel. The next one is this palette, and this is from Koki Cosmetics, and this is the Artist Palette in Peachy Queen, and this is it right here. It's just a warm tone burgundy pinky palette. It is a really pretty palette for sure. This palette I used in my Koki Cosmetics full face video that you can find here on my channel. I also use this palette right here, and it is also from Koki, and this is it right here. This little palette is stunning, and it is so pigmented, and it blends so nice. This is a Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow palette in Nightingale, and this came in my BoxyCharm. This is it right here. It comes with a mirror. It is very cool tone. This is an eyeshadow palette that I have not touched whatsoever. I was gonna film a video of my BoxyCharm, but then I didn't know if I wanted to keep this palette or not because it's cool tone, and I don't usually gravitate towards cool tone palettes. This right here is the Morphe palette, and this is Dare to Create 39A, and this is what it looks like inside right here. So you get blues, you get greens, you get, you know, pinks, burgundies, and then this row right here, like this row, is supposed to be transitions, but I've seen a lot of people use them to contour or to bronze. I have used this palette for that. I haven't used this palette here on my channel, I don't think, but I have used it. I feel like the formula on this is a little drier. I'm not sure. I'm just not the biggest fan. This was given to me at Generation Beauty 2 years ago. This is the Balm Nude Beach. And honestly, I have been thinking if I should give this away or not, because I haven't ever touched this palette at all whatsoever. Not a swatch or anything. And it's just sitting here in my collection, and I feel like if I haven't used it by now, I probably won't use it. Is Jessie's Girl. I picked this up at Rite Aid because it is super duper colorful and I wanted to try it out. And this video actually did really well on my channel, and I really do like this. If you're looking for a super affordable colorful palette, I highly recommend this. This is more of a satin formula, so it's not going to be the best for transition or, you know, blending, but like to pack on, stunning. Really like that palette a lot. This is Makeup Geek times Manny MUA, and this is what it looks like. Now this palette I have used quite a lot, to be honest. I really enjoyed this palette when I first got it, but I haven't used it in the longest time. These right here are full of dust because they're that old and I haven't used them in forever. This is ColourPop times Coffee Break with Danny, and this is the Super Shock Shadows. These right here. I obviously love Danny and I wanted to support her, so I picked these up a long time ago. I did use them a couple times, but honestly, these eyeshadows I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I don't mind if you have to like apply them with your finger, but the ones that you have to blend out, they're just not my favorite. And they're really old. I mean, it's been a hot minute. Like, I should probably declutter this. So this is some of the shades, and then this white one is supposed to be like a transformer. I'm pretty sure that's what she said, where you put it on top of another eyeshadow and it like transforms the shade. Kathleen Lights, and this is Where the Light Is, and this is the shades right here. This is really pretty right here. Really pretty. And then there's this one. So old, guys. They're old. And then this is ColourPop times Kathleen Lights. This is Dream Street, and this is what it looks like right here. It is very stunning. This palette I have used a handful of times as well. It definitely is well loved here in my house. Next is Persona. I got this palette because Ulta was having a sale, and I really have been wanting to try her formula, and it is really good. You have a good size mirror, and then this is the inside. Again, this is more on the cooler tone. Next is the Too Faced Just Peachy. This one I also got on sale. It comes with a mirror, and then this is the inside. It is like very warm tone, and this is all mattes, I believe. Yeah, it's all mattes, and it's a really nice palette to have if you're just into matte or you want to mix this with like shimmers or whatnot. It's a good palette. This is Maybelline Pink Edge, the City Kit. This is what the inside looks like. I bought this for a video and I've never used it again. This is good. It's not the best drugstore eyeshadow palette, but it's good. I'm just gonna go in quickly. I have these Wet n Wild palettes right here. I also bought for a video these right here. These are really good palettes. I also like them. This is Maybelline. I don't even think they sell these anymore. This is so freaking old. Look at that. Old. And then a MAC eyeshadow palette, which is right here. See, I'm telling you, I used to be cool tones all the way. And then Milani, I picked up this palette right here. I really do like it. I don't use it all the time, but it is a good palette. I really liked the blues in here. And then I ended up picking up these two CoverGirl palettes. They were not my favorite. I have these Wet n Wild palettes. I also had the other one that got discontinued, but I think my mom has it. These are really good palettes as well. This one I ended up picking up because of Juicy Jazz. She did a video using the palette and I really liked her look, so I ended up buying that. This right here is the Flower Beauty palette. This one comes with a brush. I don't know where the brush is, but it is a really nice palette. I ended up picking up the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette at TJ Maxx for $29.99, and I haven't even touched this at all. It's still intact. Is a Crown palette that I got in my BoxyCharm, and this is what it looks like. It comes with a mirror, and then that is the inside. I did end up using this for a video here and also on my Instagram. Next is this Becca x Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the inside right here. As you can see, it is greatly loved. I have used this quite a lot. This is probably a palette I should also declutter. The formula wasn't like the Becca usual formula, and they did ask if you wanted to return it, you would get a refund. I didn't because I felt like my palette was fine. I didn't feel like I needed to return it. And then this is the NYX Avant Pop palette right here. These you can now find at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I have seen them so many times. They're there. They're really nice. And then I have this Makeup Revolutions palette. This is probably the first eyeshadow palette of theirs that I bought. I'm sorry some of these are dusty, but I'm telling you I don't use them. The formula on these is alright. I feel like their formula has definitely improved. And I have two Jessie Girl palettes. These are super affordable, and the formula in these are really good, and they're drugstore, so you can't go wrong there. These are Wet n Wild palettes that also I bought for a video, never used again. CoverGirl, same thing, video. And I think this one I've used a couple times even after my video. Next is the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill Vol. I'm not even going to open this. We've all seen it. It's sitting in my background. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Next is the Lorac Pro #1, I believe. This is so old. This is probably one of like the first palettes I ever purchased. And this has been greatly loved by me. I used to use it all the time. Next is the Morphe x Kathleen Lights. This is the palette right here. This palette I've also used a handful of times. I really did like this palette a lot. I'm really glad that she collaborated with them, but I just don't use it anymore. This is the Violet Voss times Laura Lee. This is what it looks like. Comes with a mirror, and then this is the inside. This palette is very, very old, but it is greatly loved, as you can see. I have definitely used this many times. I have this Juvia's the Saharan palette, and this is what it looks like. This palette I have also used quite a bit. I remember in a video I dinged it and I was so freaking pissed. I couldn't believe it, but these palettes are really good. Next is a palette from my friend's brand, MGS Beauty, and this is what it looks like. Very, very beautiful. I also have the Too Faced chocolate bar. I ended up getting this from QVC, I believe, because they were having a sale, and I've only used this a couple times, not that many. Is NYX Earth palette. I bought this because I really like the colors, and I do like the formula in this, but again, I only used this palette for that video and I never used it again. This I bought for a video and I liked it because it's purple and then it's like galaxy, but the formula is not for me. I don't like the formula of the eyeshadow palette. I also have the I Love Sarai times Dose of Colors. I have never used this palette. It's just sitting back here. Look at it. It's so stunning, but honestly, like, I just don't use it, and I keep thinking if maybe I should just like give it away. Next is the Morphe times Jaclyn Hill palette. This palette, oh man, has it been used. It is greatly used here. I freaking love this palette so much. This is probably the only palette that has ever made me feel like I need a backup, because I freaking love it, and I'm glad that it's like permanent. It's not going to go anywhere, so whenever it is time for me to rebuy, I definitely would rebuy this palette. I also own the two Carly Bible palettes, the smaller one, the first one that came out, and then this one, but I think my mom took the smaller one on her trip, so this is it right here. It's freaking beautiful. It's very neutral, very natural, everyday. The highlights in this are blinding. Then I have Urban Decay Vice, and this is it right here. I bought this palette because of What Would Lizzie Do. She featured it in one of her videos, and I really liked the look that she created, so I ended up buying the palette because of her. This is the Makeup Geek eyeshadows. All of these are Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I don't ever use them. A lot of these I haven't even used. This is the eyeshadow palette right here. I bought this because I entered their sweepstakes where if you got chosen, you would get flown out to, I think it was Texas, for like a getaway with them. I didn't win, but the palette is nice. Note Cosmetics was kind enough to send me this palette. I have a video here on my channel using all Note products. This is a really good eyeshadow palette. I really liked it. Next is this Pop Beauty palette. They were kind enough to send me this palette as well for me to try out. I really like this palette also. This is more of a satin formula as well. It is very beautiful, very stunning. Looks beautiful on the eyes. Next is this Profusion palette. One of my subscribers was kind enough to send this to me. I have worn this once or twice. I think twice, and I really like this a lot. So thank you, Eva. Next is the Huda Beauty palette in, I forget what this one was called, but this is very beautiful. I also have the Bad Habit, but I gave it to my mom, the dupe, because I was like, I don't need two of the same, you know what I mean? And then I have Huda Desert Dusk, and this is what the inside looks like right in here. It's very purple. In the video that I filmed using this video, you can see when this shade right here falls off, and I was like so sad, so devastated, but it's still a really good palette. I haven't picked up the nude. I will pick it up eventually. I just haven't had the time. I've also picked up Makeup Revolution times Soph, and this is what the inside looks like. This is a really nice palette. It's super pigmented, blends easy. I also have the Too Faced Peach palette right here. This I have used many times. I remember when this was everybody's jam. Everybody wanted this palette, and I ended up picking it up, and honestly I just don't use it anymore. This is the Lorac Pro 3. This is what the inside looks like. It is very neutral, very cool tone. There's some warm tones in there. Very everyday wearable. Is the Urban Decay Naked palette. Unfortunately, this palette is no longer for sale, but this was my first ever high-end palette that I bought whenever I started my channel. So this I will probably never get rid of because it just has sentimental value. I also have the Urban Decay Heat palette, and this is what the inside looks like. It is stunning. So beautiful. I've also used this a handful of times. It is a really good palette, and I like the packaging. It's very sturdy. This will probably sustain if you travel. I also have the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette, and this is the inside right here. I ended up buying this palette because of Kathleen Lights. She did a look using this palette, and I really liked the look she created, so I ended up buying it. Next is all of my ABH palettes right here. I freaking love Anastasia Beverly Hills so freaking much. It is my dream to one day be on her PR list because I freaking love her stuff. I have all of the palettes since I've started wearing makeup, except for the Subculture. That one I got rid of, but all the rest I have. So I have Norvina, of course. You know I love my purples. I have used this a handful of times on my channel and off camera, on camera and off camera. I have the Prism palette, which is this right here. It is stunning, also greatly loved. I freaking use these palettes probably the most out of all the palettes in my collection. The ABH is probably my go-to. This is the World Traveler. I bought this palette because of Nelly Toledo here on YouTube. She used to use this palette so much, and I bought it because of her, because I wanted to recreate her looks. And Modern Renaissance, of course, everybody has this. This is the Master palette with Mario. This is it right here. This is like such a beautiful palette. The formula is definitely different from their normal formula. Soft Glam right here. This is what the inside looks like. This probably seems like I haven't really used this, but I use this palette a lot. It's probably like my go-to, like the palette I reach for the most. And then lastly is Sultry. Now I wasn't gonna pick Sultry because I don't like cool tones anymore, like I said, but anything ABH comes out with, I have to support them. So I ended up picking it up, and I freaking love this palette so much. The last palettes are these right here. These are the Morphe palettes. These are like a bazillion. Some of these are a bazillion years old. We're just gonna go through them, okay? This is the Morphe 3502 palette, the numero 2. This is what it looks like right here. This one right here is the 35D, and this is what it looks like right here. This palette I will probably never get rid of because this is the first palette I ever used here on my channel. The very first video I uploaded is using this palette. I actually want to recreate that look. The 35P palette, and this is all the purples. My friend Kristen sent this to me, and I freaking love this palette so much, obviously because it is Purple Heaven, Purple Deliciousness. It's very dusty. This one is a 35O. I remember I used to like freaking drool over this so hard, and I would use this all the time, but I haven't used this in the longest time. Last and not least is the 35T, and this is what it looks like. It's just a very, you know, plain Jane palette. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. I know it is super freaking long, but if you made it this far, please leave me a heart in the comments. That way I know who made it this far. Don't forget the thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Share the video. And yeah, look forward to a declutter because I need to declutter a lot of these, okay? A lot. So, catch you guys in my next video very soon.